So in this presentation, I am going to do my very best to explain cryptoart.
Okay.
I have been wondering about it.
So I don't have a deep knowledge on this subject, and I would highly encourage people to check out any other source and not
Stop watching this video. Stop watching this right now. You're not going to learn anything. Whilst you're at it, why don't you unsubscribe and dislike the video?
So to start off with, Jen,
Yes.
would you like to buy this lovely Nyan Cat gif?
Sure.
How much would you pay for it?
I used to have that exact Nyan cat on the back of my car, and I paid about £12 for the stickers.
Okay. So that's a good start. We can work with that. What if the gif came with a certificate?
Oh, I love a good certificate.
Could we bump up the price a little bit if it came with a certificate?
I give $500,000 for a certificate.
Yeah, $500,000? Yeah, sure.
So, to understand cryptoart, we first need to attempt to understand blockchain.
I've listened to so many blockchain podcasts and I could not tell you.
Oh, well, that speaks well for me. So, on the online, anything is copyable.
Okay.
So anything you see on the internet, you have. And that poses two kinds of problem. One of them is security. So maybe you don't want just anybody to be able to copy and keep every single piece of information that you might want to put online or might want to access online. And the other problem is for capitalism, because capitalism requires scarcity to make profit. And without scarcity, there is no profit. So if everything can just be copied and shared, where do people get their money from? On the internet?
Well, one of those problems I think I can solve.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get rid of capitalism.
The secret, that's the secret goal of this video, of this presentation.
Just take it around the back. And,
Just get rid of it.
Oh.
So the technological solution to both of these problems is encryption. For security, the machine that you might be accessing will set your computer a maths puzzle or lots of maths puzzles to solve before you can access or send any private information. And then for profit, so I think it's useful to think about how currency works in the first place before we compare it to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So for the physical currency that we use, banks will print verifiable serial numbers using certain techniques that require lots of expertise and expensive machinery to reproduce. And anyone can look at that currency and verify to quite a high degree of accuracy that it's real, but only the bank can produce currency that is recognized as real to such a degree of certainty, which creates a level of trust in the meaning and recognition of the note. And that is what's valuable. That's what allows it to carry its value. If it could be easily copied, then its value couldn't be maintained. Or if people even had the impression that it could be easily copied, then it couldn't carry that value or that sort of promise from the bank, basically, that note is a promise from the bank. So how blockchain works is it uses encryption or maths puzzles to create pieces of unique information or non-fungible tokens that can be verified by anyone, but also produced by anyone who is participating in that blockchain encryption process. So the blockchain exists across a network of all of the computers that take part in it and uses encryption to maintain a record of information that is unique and extremely difficult to change retroactively, but is still accessible to all of the participants. which makes it highly sort of trustable. So it's that verifiable nature of that uniqueness that makes it able to carry value. So any computer can participate in creating the new uniqueness that is added to the blockchain record by solving encryption puzzles, but only one machine can be the first to solve any one problem, and that is the machine that gets to claim the uniqueness and any value assigned to it. So if we're talking about Bitcoin mining, that would be the machine that won the Bitcoin from being the first to solve the puzzle.
So could you theoretically have a computer that's always behind everyone else and never win a Bitcoin?
So,
oh god, I've asked a question now, haven't I?
this is the question. This is the question. So this is what the process of cryptocurrency mining is, e.g. like Bitcoin. You set the computer humming, processing encryption puzzles, hoping that at some point it will solve one of them before all of the other computers do, and that you will be awarded the cryptocurrency in return. So everyone participating is competing to be the one computer that solves the puzzle first and be awarded the NFT. But the odds of any one computer winning go down the more computers are taking part. So it's already got to the point where in order to have any significant chance of winning, participants either have to get together with masses of people to pool their computer power and then share the spoils of their success, or own masses of computers, like putting tons of tickets in the lottery. So basically, if you wanted to start Bitcoin mining now, just with one computer, the chances of you actually being able to mine any Bitcoins would be incredibly low. So basically, this means that the value of any win decreases over time as more people participate. But it's also the fact of more people participating that allows the currency to be assigned more social value in conversion with our other currencies. So there's like a set number of Bitcoin, but the value of the Bitcoin increases as more people sort of jump on the Bitcoin bandwagon kind of thing.
It sounds like putting the cart before the horse, and then the horse before the cart, and then the cart before the horse, right?
It really does, but it's such an extreme, like, pure representation of capitalism, because what Bitcoin mining is, or what cryptocurrency mining, like through blockchain is having masses and masses and masses of computers all humming away, working on doing the exact same work, just competing to be the first and to win, and making all of the rest of that work redundant.
The work isn't strictly necessary in the first place. It's just proof
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, proof of work. It's what it's for.
It's the effort itself that is kind of assigned the value, even if it's not producing anything. I'm talking. Yeah.
I mean, this is just confusing.
No, but that makes.
I feel like
I mean, I might join you in saying you should unsubscribe from next slide, please.
But non-productive activities generating value that's fine. That's finance, or at least that's a huge portion of finance. It's just another
right.
It's another feather in that cap for capitalism.
It's like any other speculative kind of market where people want to, they'll buy Bitcoin hoping that they can sell it for more money. So they'll buy it for a lot, hoping that they can sell it for a lot. And it's just like a Ponzi scheme, basically. Like they can make more and more money as long as there are more people joining at the bottom. And the last people left, if you join late and you're left with Bitcoin and no one to sell it to, that's you being left with the bag. And that's like any any kind of like speculative market, really.
It's like what happened with the GameStop stuff recently.
Exactly.
I'd watched a video of these people doing a podcast, and they were talking about it because it was happening at the time. And one of them was like, "Oh yeah, it's really easy to do it," and just like bought like $200 worth of stock in GameStop, and that was the exact moment that it hit its peak, and so he lost so much money.
Right. That's exactly it. Like, if you get in, you know, people aren't necessarily being foolish, because there are people making tons of money, but it's like only if they get in at the right time and get out at the right time, and they're only doing it at the expense of other people. It's just gambling. It's just lottery.
Exactly, and there's always somebody losing.
Yeah, or masses of people losing. Yeah. And the biggest loser of all, the planet.
Oh no, I live there.
Me too. So, because you have all of these masses and masses of computers working on mining cryptocurrency, all doing the same redundant work in competition with each other, just in order to win like a unique piece of data, basically, that they can claim as theirs. And there's a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies that people use, but just Bitcoin, the carbon footprint of Bitcoin is estimated to be greater than the Netherlands.
Oof.
Just from the electricity being used to power all of these computers. You've got these massive companies investing in just purchasing loads of computers to work on competing amongst themselves, but in a lot like but also against everyone else to solve puzzles to try and make money, and that is creating an absolutely absurd amount of greenhouse gases. So back to our original question, Jen, how much would you like to pay for this lovely Nyan Cat GIF if it were attached to a non-fungible token, which is that magic piece of unique information created on this blockchain through this blockchain process?
Couple hundred grand.
Couple of $100,000.
Yeah.
Would you buy it for $600,000?
I wasn't far off.
Oh no,
that's
a bit too much. Maybe 599,000.
I would buy it for 500,000 and sell it for 600,000. Business smarts.
And then I'd set fire to a forest.
Because it did sell for $600,000 worth of Ethereum. However, that's how much that Ethereum was worth when it was sold. That Ethereum is now worth $440,000.
Oh.
Yeah, so when people are buying crypto art, they are still just buying the art itself, which is still easily reproducible. But they are also purchasing alongside it a non-fungible token, which basically acts like a certificate of authenticity. Because then there's this record that's spread among this whole blockchain, masses and masses of people. They all have a record. Yes, this person purchased this serial number on this day.
Question.
Yes.
Are we going to have to pay $600,000 for the rights to use this GIF in our video?
No, because it doesn't stop anybody from reproducing the GIF at all. It just gives them a little certificate, basically.
But if you took this GIF and sped it up or slowed it down, could you then sell a new unique NFT?
I'm there. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to just again over and over and over again sell NFTs for the same image, because it's not actually the like there's nothing making the art itself like need to be unique. It's only the NFT that is the unique thing that you're purchasing.
So maybe just like the contract with the person you sold it to, you know, might contain some kind of exclusivity clause, but if not, then there's no reason.
Right, but it probably wouldn't, and like there's.
But if you're an actual artist, you might.
Right. Yeah. Which would basically have very little to do with the NFT itself, right? That's just a gimmick that goes alongside it then, because there's like Twitter bots that are scraping Twitter for tweets to sell as NFTs. And so any idea of like copyright, even though this is, you know, you can kind of market this with like labels like unique or authentic or like like that is just not really anything to do with it.
It sounds like a scam.
Isn't it all?
Yeah, a little bit. So basically, like cryptocurrency and like basically like any speculative market, exactly like you were saying, like the GameStop thing that happened, and including physical art markets as well. The reason for a lot of people to make a purchase of crypto art is not that they have personally assigned, you know, sentimental value or like personal value to the art, but the assumption that someone else will come along who is willing to pay more for it than they did. And likely the reason that they would pay more for it than you did is that they expect that someone else will come along and pay more for it than they did. It's gambling.
Isn't there quite a lot of art stuff, like physical art stuff, all about like tax evasion?
Yeah, and people also, you know, they purchase and store masses of art, hoping that over time some proportion of it will increase in value, and that they'll be able to sell it for more in like 20 years, or, you know, their grandkids will inherit it and be able to, you know, sell it for much more in 50 years or something.
Yeah, they might still want the piece of art, but that doesn't stop it from being an investment.
Right.
It's not that they think, it's not that, oh, I want to look at this every day and that is worth $12 million to me.
Yes.
You know, I want to look at this every day, and also it's, you know, a nest egg.
I wish someone would look at me for $12 million. I will happily be looked at every day for $12 million. If you are a multi-millionaire who is willing to spend $12 million to look at me every day, then put a comment down below. I'm going to sell an NFT of my soul. Like an episode of The Simpsons where Bart sells his soul to Milhouse for $5.
But speaking of people scraping tweets to sell with NFTs, Jack Dorsey of Twitter has sold his first tweet as an NFT. People kind of recognize the environmental impact of cryptocurrency, but because crypto art is associated with like fashionable people, like I think the Kings of Leon just released an album as with an NFT. It's, you know, got lots of people very excited and is making some artists money this way. But there's been some kind of estimates that because a lot of the crypto art markets are happening through the cryptocurrency Ethereum, and you have that sort of mining process still has to happen to create the NFT that goes with the crypto art. There's been estimates that like an NFT using the Ethereum blockchain has as much carbon footprint as like the average European would use electricity in a month.
Do you need to pay for it with a cryptocurrency? Or could you have an NFT of a an image and pay for it in cash?
This is the question that I was trying to figure out. It doesn't need to be like you've mined the cryptocurrency to pay for it. I was trying to figure out whether the estimates were coming from the value of the cryptocurrency that's mined to pay for it, or the NFT itself. And it's the NFT itself.
Okay.
So they have to, that mining process of lots of computers all running like redundantly, competing to be the first computer to solve the problem, create that like unique piece of encryption, that is the NFT itself. And so that NFT might be like Bitcoin, or it might be like it, you know, you can label it or use it in different ways, and cryptoart is using it as like a unique piece of information to go along with a piece of art or an album or a tweet. But that process of mining for the NFT, the non-fungible token, is what creates that that carbon footprint, or that redundant and like deliberately like difficult work, basically. It wouldn't inherently have to be the case that all of these computers would be competing and producing all of this excess like output to make these NFTs, right? It's just because it's this system, it's happening in a capitalist system, that is inherently the outcome.
Well, you convinced me. How do I buy an NFT? Don't forget, if you didn't learn anything, unlike and unsubscribe.